In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the top 10 great places to travel with kids. Oh, and just wait until you see the number one that we're going to be showing in this video, something you would have never even thought of, so make sure you watch till the end. Now, before we begin, you can help support our channel by becoming a member of this channel. Press the join button below. This will help us to bring you more awesome travel videos. Now, if you're ready kids, let's cut to the chase. At number 10, Chicago, Illinois. Chicago can be a great spot for kids. I just managed to bring a 5- and 2-year-old throughout the city. There are so many great kid-friendly options. Millennium Park, the Shed Aquarium, Lincoln Park Zoo, and Michigan Avenue for the Lego and American Girl stores. Not to mention, it's a great city to walk and explore. I grew up in the Chicago suburbs and can confirm that there are tons of kid-friendly activities there. Don't miss the Museum of Science and Industry, which includes a full German submarine from World War II, or the Field Museum. Next up at 9, Paris, France. When my daughters were 8 and 10, we went to France with extended family. They were the perfect age to appreciate that the home of Nicolas Flamel was right down the street from our rental house, and we also visited the Cluny Museum of Medieval Art and History and saw Flamel's tombstone and some of the original unicorn tapestries that formed the basis of the hangings in the Gryffindor common room. My kids got to sail model boats on the pond at Luxembourg Gardens. We did a side trip to Bayeux to visit the tapestry, and the museum there has a special audio tour geared especially for kids to understand the Norman conquest of England. I genuinely thought my kids would have a hard limit of the castles and churches, but was surprised to discover that there was no limit. The catacombs of Paris were probably the single weirdest and most surprising things my kids loved at that age. The Parc de la Villette is also a great place to stroll with kids. While you're there, you can pop into La Cité des Sciences et de l'Industrie, an interactive science museum. Oh, and I hear the Louvre is pretty cool too. At 8, San Diego, California. Balboa Park in San Diego has lots of great attractions for kids. The main attraction is, of course, the San Diego Zoo, but the park's many museums are definitely worth checking out, and it takes more than a few days to see them all. There's something for every kid. I especially recommend the Model Railroad Museum, which is easy to miss, but kids love it. The Fleet Science Center is also super kid-friendly. The USS Midway Museum is also a great choice, especially for airplane-obsessed kiddos. And of course there are plenty of beaches to explore. At 7, Gatlinburg, Tennessee. The Smoky Mountains in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. We take the kids every year and we always have such a great time. There's lots of stuff for kids, but also stuff to do as a couple. Plus the mountains are just breathtaking. For kid-friendly hiking in the Smoky Mountains, try the Gatlinburg Trail. For a little more adrenaline, there's a Rowdy Bear Mountain Coaster, a gravity-propelled cart through the mountains. And when I have kids, I will for sure be taking them to the Salt and Pepper Shaker Museum. And now, at number 6, St. Louis, Missouri. This may seem like a strange answer, but I have to say that the best place we have ever traveled with our kid is St. Louis. We visited family there earlier this year. There is so much free stuff to do with your kids, including the world-class zoo, a great art museum, Grant's Farm, and the Anheuser-Busch Brewery Tour, where you get up close and personal with the famous Clydesdales, all completely free. Oh, I'll have a Budweiser. We were also there during Shakespeare in the Park, which takes place in beautiful Forest Park and includes knife jugglers and other fun things for the kids. No, the kids don't do knife juggling. It's also, you guessed it, free. The only attraction we spent money on was the City Museum, which sounds boring but is seriously one of the coolest things I have ever seen in my life. We can't wait to go back next year. The Botanical Garden looks incredible, but we didn't have time to see it on the last trip. And at number 5, Reykjavík, Iceland. Internationally, I'm saying Iceland. It's an incredibly beautiful country with a very low crime rate, and the majority of natives speak English. Easy to navigate, fun to explore, magical place. Iceland is incredibly kid-friendly, from the wide-open spaces for adventures to the many family-friendly hot springs. Iceland is where it's at. Plus, the country is incredibly safe, so you don't have much to worry about. An added bonus is that most of the stuff, like looking at incredible waterfalls, is free. In addition to the myriad kid-friendly outdoor activities in Iceland, Reykjavík is home to the National Museum of Iceland and the Arbea Open Air Museum. There are tons of day trips you can take from Reykjavík, as Iceland is only about the size of Kentucky. At 4, Amsterdam, the Netherlands. Amsterdam is a city made for kids. Really? What about Red Light District? Great museums, especially the National Maritime Museum. Easy to get around, locals are kid-friendly, food is good, English is widely spoken, and a lovely countryside outside of the city waiting to be explored. You can also find greenery in the middle of the city at the Vondelpark, explore on bikes. You can even rent a bakfiet, a bicycle with a box at the front where kids can sit. Visit the Amsterdam Royal Zoo, or for slightly older kids, visit the Anne Frank House. At 3, it's Cedar Point Amusement Park. Cedar Point is where our family loves to go. There are rides for little kids, huge roller coasters, including one that goes 120 miles per hour and is 420 feet, a luxurious hotel and a pretty beach. You can't all do it in one day. Cedar Point, also known as the roller coaster capital of the world, is open from May through October. It's got 18 roller coasters, as well as rides for younger kids and a water park. The park is located on a peninsula on Lake Erie, so you'll have a gorgeous view as you ride the rides and feast on funnel cake. And next up at number 2, Los Angeles, California. Los Angeles is great for kids. The Getty Museum has a fun area for younger children, a beautiful garden and scenery, and so many outdoor sculptures. Ours loved riding the white train all the way to the top. The Natural History Museum is so amazing. There are so many interactive exhibits, and depending on the season, they may have a visiting butterfly or spider enclosure set up. It's adjacent to the Rose Garden at USC's campus. The NHMLA is also walking distance to the Space Shuttle Endeavour at the California Science Center and the California African American Museum. La Brea Tar Pits is uniquely cool, no other place like it. Our kids loved learning about saber-toothed cats, antique bison, giant sloths and dire wolves. The tar pits are next door to LACMA, an enormous art museum and home to the famous streetlights. Travel Town is a mostly outdoor museum, great for smaller children, especially if they're obsessed with trains. That place is free and has free parking. It's a short drive to the Griffith Observatory, which is also free but always insanely busy, and the LA Zoo. Oh, not to mention there is the Santa Monica Pier and many beautiful beaches. And finally, drumroll please, for number 1, Gothenburg, Sweden. It's super safe and clean. Almost everyone speaks English, so if your kid runs off, they can ask for help. The food is amazing and the parks are incredible. The Kungsparken especially is amazing. Also, the public transportation cannot be beat. Gothenburg is the second largest city in Sweden. In addition to the Kungsparken, a park in the city centre, it's also home to the Universium, a children's science museum that includes an aquarium and indoor rainforest, among other things, and the Liseberg's Nöjespark, one of Scandinavia's most visited amusement parks. You can also take a boat tour of the archipelago of Gothenburg, or for older kids, a guided kayak tour. And there you have it, the top 10 great places to travel with kids. Did you like what you saw? Let us know in the comments down below. Share this video with your friends and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more fantastic travel guides. See you next time, parents!